watching ERi-TV, dear viewers. Welcome to our news broadcast. Here are the headlines. Activity assessment meeting of national organization in Italy. National Union of Eritrean Women assesses the union's performance of 2022. Russia and China will hold joint naval drills this week. Taliban bans women from attending universities in Afghanistan. In our domestic news, heads of Eritrean national associations from 12 cities in Italy held activity assessment meeting on 17 and 18 December in Milano, pointing out that as a result of strong resilience and perseverance of its nationals, Eritrea has reached to a promising stage. Mr. Girmay Habte-Mikhail, head of public and community affairs in Italy, underlined the significance of strengthening organizational capacity and unity for better results. Speaking at the occasion, Mr. Feshat Petros, Eritrea's ambassador to Italy, gave extensive briefing on the objective situation in the homeland as well as on regional developments. At his briefing, Ambassador Fesatian said that the Eritrean government is making its modest contribution in the effort to develop peace, stability and cooperation in the region. The participants on their part held discussion on the compiled report of the YPFDJ organization, PFDJ, the National Union of Eritrean Women, Eritrean Community, Media Committee and National Committee, in terms of challenges encountered, strengths and limitations observed, and adopted various recommendations. They also expressed readiness to strengthen organizational capacity and participation in the national affairs. The Executive Board of the National Union of Eritrean Women organized activity assessment meeting of 2022 and strategic plan for 2023. At the meeting, in which heads of union branches in the region as well as members in the diaspora took part, reports were presented focusing on the efforts conducted to encourage girls' overall performance in schools, ensure health of women and awareness-raising activities, raising political consciousness of women, strengthening organizational capacity, development of economic capacity of women, avoiding harmful traditional practices, as well as in recruiting young women to the union. Indicating that the union has been working to realize its objective and vision by designing strategic plan, Mr. Khatis Mikhail, president of the National Union of Eritrean Women, said that the union, taking into consideration the objective situation and demands, has achieved encouraging and measurable results. Mr. Kha also commended diaspora members of the union for the participation and contribution they have been extending in the implementation of the programs of the union. Members of the union in the diaspora on their part expressed readiness to strengthen participation in national affairs and transfer of noble societal values to the young women generation of Eritrea. The meeting also adopted various recommendations, including boosting efforts to develop political consciousness of women and their participation in national affairs, develop professional skills, as well as strengthening economic capacity of women, among others. The National Union of Eritrean Youth and Students, in cooperation with the Ministry of Education, handed out Tamfeda Award to outstanding students in Barantu subzone that scored 80 points and above in the 2021-2022 academic year 8th grade national examination. Mr. Marcos Germacion, head of the organizational and political affairs at the National Union of Eritrean Youth and Students branch in Gash-Barka region, said that the objective of the award is to encourage outstanding students to continue their performance in school and for other students to follow suit, indicating that Tamfeda Award is being provided to outstanding students every year. Mr. Dawit Khalata, head of the Ministry of Education branch in Barantu subzone, called on the awardees to develop competence in their education and become role models to fellow students. Commending the initiative of the National Union of Eritrean Youth and Students in cooperation with the Ministry of Education to encourage outstanding students, Mr. Yaman Mahari, acting administrator of the subzone, called on the awardees to increase efforts to achieve better results in their academic performance. That was our domestic news. Please stay tuned now for the international news right after the short break. Russia and China will hold joint naval drills between December 21 to 27, Russia's defense ministry said today. The joint naval exercise, which has taken place annually since 2012, will involve missile and artillery firing in the East China Sea, Russia's defense ministry said. Since the war in Ukraine began in February, Moscow has maintained its political security and economic links with Beijing. Russia said 4 of its vessels would take part in the drills, including the Varyang missile cruise, while 6 Chinese vessels would take part, along with aircraft and helicopters from both sides. Russian ships set sail on Monday from the Far East port of Vladivostok to take part in the week-long exercises, which start on Wednesday. The Taliban on Tuesday banned women and girls from attending universities and from getting higher education in Afghanistan, a letter released by the Taliban's Ministry of Higher Education stated. Tuesday's order, which is effectively immediately completed all the restrictions the Taliban imposed on Afghan women life in 1990s. Rumors of closing universities have been circulating on Afghan social media since a new leader was appointed for the Ministry of Higher Education position. In a statement Tuesday, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken condemned the Taliban's decision to ban women from universities. Ambassador Robert Wood, alternative U.S. representative for Special Political Affairs, also issued a response to the Taliban's decision at a United Nations Security Council briefing. Please stay tuned now for a recap of tonight's headlines. Activity assessment meeting of national organizations in Italy. National Union of Eritrean Women assesses the union's performance of 2022. Russia and China to hold joint naval drills this week. Taliban bans women from attending universities in Afghanistan. And that was our news for tonight, dear viewers. Say this good night from us.